need to hopefully have Scott organize a big dinner and let Robert just tell stories for the whole entire dinner. Robert, thank you. I'm grateful. How would the 60-year-old Robert coach the 30-year-old Robert as a father? How would you coach him up when you were in your 20s and 30s to all of your kids? Grateful and appreciative of you.
You know, one of the best things I did was I took my kids to the finish line of Ironman. And when they watch kids in wheelchairs, blind, one leg, every kind of person who would not, you would think, want to do one of these, suffer and crawl across the finish line, I would say to my kids, what did you see? We saw people doing extraordinary things that shouldn't be doing extraordinary things. They had every reason in the world to have excuses not to do these things. And so then I said, so what's your excuse? You don't have any issues. You live in a middle-class family. What's your excuse for being lazy? What's your excuse for having excuses? You can do great things. So when are you gonna make a decision to do something with your life? And we'd have those kind of talks. And I would challenge them and say, I love you. You don't have to do anything to earn my love. I mean, I'll love you, whatever you do, but you're pretty doggone smart, you're pretty gifted. And it bugs me when you're lazy and you come up with excuses. And each of my 5 kids had different personalities, of course. So you had to deal with it differently. Some were, you know, type A's, and some were real reticent and quiet and artsy and stuff, musician types. But you have to find that skill and say, listen, we believe that you can do anything you want in your life, and we love you. But if you hang around loser friends who have loser excuses, who do loser stupid things, you're in trouble. And I'll give you a story. I'm sorry this go overtime. So my son is on the football team, and they all get drunk. They're on the top of a hill, and the kicker is in the driver's seat, and there's a kid that wants to leave, and the kicker, who has an appointment to West Point to be a kicker at West Point, they get in the car drunk to go down a hill. And my son's standing there, and I say to my son later, why didn't you do something? I raised you to be a leader, not a follower, and you're up there drunk with all the rest of these guys, and you didn't take your hand and grab the car keys and pull it out. Why? Don't know, Dad. Froze. They took off in the car, rolled the car, and the passenger kid, his best ski buddy, got killed, crushed by the car. And the West Point kicker to be went to jail, senior year in high school. And I'm at the funeral. My son's sitting next to me, and he's crying. He lost his best friend. And I said, you lost your best friend because of you. You didn't pull the car keys out. You knew better. And because you were a follower and you were drunk, your friend's dead. And he said, I know. I said, I hope this will teach you now the rest of your life. You only get one chance to do the right thing, or else someone's gonna die. And he just cried more. And I comforted him and said, you know, I love you, blah, blah, blah. But it was a really hard lesson that if you do stupid things with stupid people, don't be surprised when people die. And try to have those wake-up times where you take kids and you say, you know, take them to a jail, or take them to a prison, or take them someplace and say, this is what happens when people make bad decisions. And they get it real quick, you know. It may not change them overnight, but those little seeds, like I made my kids serve street dinners on Thanksgiving. And so we all went down to the homeless folks, and I said, what do you see? All these homeless folks made them feed food. Well, that's what happens when you make bad decisions. You know, try to do something that wakes them up besides just lecturing them. And, you know, I'm sure you're doing great. It's just hard. Peer pressure is so difficult. Social media, peer pressure. If they listen to the wrong stuff, you know, you're fighting an uphill battle all the time. And there's so much difficult stuff out there for them to wade through.